from dishwasher to business owner. My guest today is amazing in his journey. He started in college as a dishwasher, moved up through the food and beverage ranks, and he is a multi-million-dollar business owner. He has won awards. He loves events. He loves sports. He loves catering management. He loves HR and training. There are so many facets to my guest today that I cannot wait to introduce you to Joe Mahoney. Joe, how's it going today?
It's going great, Chuck. Thanks for having me on. Good morning to you as well.
Excellent, excellent. Joe, there are so many facets to your background that I cannot wait to get into all of those today. But first, let's talk about what you brought for us. What do you have?
My mug today, Chuck, is my favorite hospitality mug. We started selling these at the start of COVID. One of my associations I belong to, NACE, the National Association for Catering and Events, the Charlotte chapter starting selling the mugs and t-shirts. Then Orlando did, and our charity was to go to Second Harvest Food Bank to raise funds for them to feed all the people who are being laid off. It's got two hands that are holding up the pineapple. And then underneath the leaves of the pineapple, it says support hospitality. And in the middle of the pineapple, it says Orlando. And then all around the body of the pineapple are different jobs within hospitality, catering. It's got DJ, photographer, bartender, cook, hostess, all kinds of things with hospitality that we're so desperately trying to support now.
That's cool. And the pineapple, for those that don't know, why is that significant in the center of that mug there?
Pineapple is the international symbol of hospitality. It's holding up the crowns or the leaves or reaching out and welcoming people.
That's cool. I love that.
I have my CFHLA pineapple pin on here today.
I see it. And that's what I was just going to ask you about. Talk to me about the two pins you have on your lapel.
Well, the one is the CFHLA pineapple that, I'm proud to wear to any event I go to. And the other thing I'm proud of is through NACE is my CPCE pin, which means I'm a certified professional in catering and events, one of only 360 in the country. And I have been that now for 18 years.
Wow.
Starting to do training now for our other members throughout the country, doing a fast track study program that we have that helps them get ready when they have to sit for the certification exam.
Okay. And then the golden pineapple, CFHLA, and I know that stands for Central Florida Hotel Lodging Association, correct?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, Joe, you've got so much to share. And I would love to just start hammering you with a lot of great questions because as a business owner, I know that you are into HR, which we love, and training, which many business owners kind of miss that. And I'm hoping to get into that a little bit today. But talk to us about your journey, that journey from dishwasher to business owner and everything in between.
Sure. I'll try and keep it short because we could probably end up 30 minutes just on that subject. But when I went away to college, originally when I was picking my major, I was torn between owning my own restaurant or going into marine biology. College I went to had a laboratory. You had to spend your first semester senior year in St. Croix. I picked marine biology. My parents said, okay, we're helping to pay for your school. You want spending money? You got to get a job. So I started working as a pot washer and a dishwasher, eventually working my way up to a weekend cook and weekend student manager. I was working with the executive chef, helping him do catering on the side. When I was 18, 19 years old, I would help cook the food. I'd help decorate, set up. I would tend bar, break it down, serve, everything that needed to be done. I was there to help with. And then became a full-time cook with the university that helped pay because going into my senior year, when all the money was supposed to be going to research for marine biology, wasn't there. They were hiring 10% of all graduates. I'm not number one or number two. They were paying $12,000 a year. Guess what? Switching my major to hospitality.
Mhm.
And it's just been all uphill from there. Worked a lot of different positions in a lot of different non-commercial food aspects, hospitals, business and industry, colleges, and crazy enough, one of my crazy stories was working in New York City at Manhattan Community College. One of the reasons why I love catering and events so much is it changes so often on a split second. We had the honor to cater Mayor Rudy Giuliani's first public inauguration in 1993 was when the election was 92. We were expecting 5,000 people on January 2nd, and we got a call. Guess what? We're going to have 7,500. They're not checking IDs. So what do? Solve the issue, do what you got to do, and move forward. Came down to Central Florida, got 40 inches of snow in January of 96. My wife wanted to move to Florida. Back then, there was nothing online. Got the Sentinel sent up to me a week later each week, and saw a job ad for Director of Catering at University of Central Florida. Dr. Hitt was getting ready to go into his first capital campaign. They wanted somebody to improve the program. So I came down to help do that. We eventually lost the contract and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And that is when I bought into hospitality staff, and we turned that around as well. Bought HES staff, me and my partners, and had success with that, and then started the training company, and the training company is still going now. Unfortunately, due to COVID and everything that's happening with everybody, we've had to permanently close both staffing companies.
Sure. And for those that don't know, here in Orlando, Florida, and Joe, you're in Orlando still, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And as I am, that has affected the hospitality industry tremendously. But tell me about the training company. See, that's what's really cool about you. You're an operations person, right? You came up through operations, you became a business owner, but one of the neat things is you've always had an HR and training aspect. And to that end, you have created an online training company that is still going to this day. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. The training company that we have is Hotel and Restaurant Training Services, HRTS for short. We do a lot of online training for food handler, which is required in about 10 states right now, but every state should have it. We do online alcohol awareness class, and we have an online study guide for the food safety manager. And I also teach that class and proctor the exam in person. Now, the thing with your question with being a business owner and HR and training, they have to go hand in hand, especially nowadays when you have, we had at one point, we had 250 full-time employees when we had a large contract at a hotel, full-time employees working for us, in addition to all the temp work that we did. So you have to be focused on making sure your HR department is doing well, that they're attending meetings, that they're keeping up with all the changes, whether it's local, state, federal, and also the training aspect. You have to make sure you're protecting your employees. And that was our motto, is that we sent people out into the field who are already trained, who already had their certifications. So people who are contracting to us did not have to worry about that. You have a lot of people now, it's unfortunate, you see the commercials of some lawyer firms on TV that they're just looking to sue companies. So you have to stay up on this and keep up to date. With the training as a business owner, I know it's hard, but we made sure we found the time to do it. When it's really busy, you get a lot of companies that say, well, we're too busy to train. And then when it's really slow, we don't have the money to train at this time. You've got to do it to be successful at what you do.
Right. And I love that, folks. Joe Mahoney there, business owner on HR and training and the importance of it in your operation. You know, Joe, you and I interacted when we were both part of the CFHLA Central Florida Hotel Lodging Association, and I know you are heavy on volunteering, and I know that is a great aspect of your, I would say, personality. But you've won awards and you've volunteered. You've been involved with Rotary. You've been involved with CFHLA. You have sponsored a lot of the employee relations events with CFHLA, and I know you do your training classes, but you are an amazing networker. You really are, and you know a lot of folks, and I was hoping you could kind of talk about the importance of networking, especially now as you're embarking on a job search and looking for your next opportunities.
Yes. You know, when I was director of catering at UCF, I was in my own little bubble. We talk about bubble now with sports and so many things going on. I was in my own little bubble at University of Central Florida. And I knew there had to be something else out there besides just what I was doing and seeing. So I did my research online and I found NACE, National Association for Catering and Events. Back then was Catering Executives, and now since it's been changed since 2012. And I started going to meetings and meeting people, and a lot of people who see me and know me don't believe that I'm a shy person. Deep down, I really am. To go and start up a conversation with me, with someone I do not know, is very difficult. Once an introduction is made, I'm as good as gold. And so I have been doing that for 20 years now. When I bought into hospitality staff with my other business partners, one of their main parts of their business plan was networking. You have to join CFHLA. I met my business partners with hospitality staff through NACE. I used hospitality staff as supplementing my staff when I was director of catering at UCF. So I already had that relationship there. So we joined CFHLA, we joined FRLA, we joined ACF. And it's important to develop those relationships because people truly want to do business with people that they know and people that they trust. And as you get comfortable and you move up and you've been involved for so many years, you start giving that back to other people, new people who are joining, becoming a mentor. One of my favorite things is to speak to hospitality classes at Rosen, speak to hospitality classes at Valencia. I love mentoring our young people who are just trying to get into the industry. And it brings me so much joy to truly, truly give back. Probably one of my busiest and most difficult times. You know, you try not to bite off more than you can chew. Wasn't sure I was going to be able to do it, but I was on the national board for NACE. I was the Allied Relations Council chair for CFHLA. And I was also the chapter club president for the Rotary Club of Dr. Phillips,
Right.
all at the same time. So to juggle 3 companies, I just love what I do. I love giving back, and it brings me joy doing that stuff.
Right. So if we had to talk about your success and what contributed to your success, and if you had any advice to give to anyone that is perhaps younger, as you've mentored folks, or perhaps even more mature, but to achieve success in anything they do. And I've heard 2 or 3 things right now. I'm just going to share them with you, and then perhaps you can expand on those or just add additional items. Number one, I heard passion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You had a passion for catering and events early on.
Yes.
Number 2, you networked. You've been out there, you've met people, you've gotten involved. You know, networking is not just going around shaking hands and saying hi, it's getting involved.
Yes.
And the third thing you've done is you've been very, very helpful. And I've known you for a number of years. I have to tell you, I think you're one of the most helpful. You were very helpful to me early on as I was moving into my positions as HR director at various companies around town. You were always there, and you're just very helpful. You're a very giving person. And the best thing is you're giving without any expectation. So passion, networking, getting involved, and helpfulness. Have I missed anything else? What other advice would you be able to give folks as far as success, to be successful is concerned?
Chuck, we're in hospitality. You have to be passionate about what you do. It's long hours. And if you don't love it, it's going to drain on you. You have to love what you do. And as far as the networking goes, like I said, people are going to do business with people they know and trust. And you develop this network because you have friends. I have people who are in my network that are like family to me, that I can go to, pick up a phone and call anywhere in the country and ask questions to help out. Since the two businesses closed, I had put a posting on Facebook letting people know that closed, and okay, here I am, I'm available. Not to say woe is me, but I've spent 20 years developing this vast network and say, hey, if you hear of anything, you know of anybody, just keep me in mind, that's all. And the other thing is with the students and mentoring young people, one of the biggest things that I always tell them is never, ever burn a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you of GMs that I've met here in town that worked with people that are my fraternity brothers in college in New Jersey. That was, who knows, 20, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, and still know them. I have, before I moved from New York City to here, I worked for a company called Culinart, and I was at their top account. Just decided we didn't own a house. We didn't have kids yet. My wife and I decided to make the change to move to Florida. The vice president of operations took me out to lunch, said, Joe, we'd like to offer you more money to stay. I said, I appreciate it, but I don't want to look back 20 years later and say, I wish I would have taken that jump. I took it. I don't regret it. I kept in touch with those people. And probably 8, 9 years ago, we got a call from our office in Jacksonville, said, oh, there's a company that, food service company that's picking up an account in Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to talk to you about doing their staff. So I asked my managing partner, my ops guy, and he's like, well, it's Culinart. I said, it can't be Culinart. Culinart's only in the Northeast. I hadn't been keeping up on what they were doing. They were in 35 states.
Mm-hmm.
I said, pull up their information on the internet and let's look at it. And everybody that I used to work for were all still the top people that were there.
Right.
So my operations guy called up the person we were meeting with. It's like, oh, my senior partner used to work for your company and used to work with a lot of people that are still there. So she called. She was a local HR, a district HR person, called the vice president. Oh, yes, Joe, we love Joe. He was great. So it was pretty much, sold before we even got there. So as large as hospitality is a very small world. And you never know when people are going to come back and enter into your world.
Sure. Absolutely. You never want to burn those bridges. You always want to stay in touch with folks. And I think you've done a great job of doing that. You have to ask for it. And the fact that you said, hey, I'm now out looking for my next opportunity, and you let people know, you asked for it. And I tell that to folks all the time. You have to ask for maybe the promotion. You have to ask for the opportunity. You have to let people know, because if you don't let people know, they're not going to know. People aren't mind readers, right? So that's pretty cool. So tell me then, since since you were asking for it and you were telling people out there what you were doing, what's Joe Mahoney up to these days? And I know you're in between looking for your next opportunity. What's the ideal thing for Joe Mahoney?
Well, the ideal thing that I'd like to do is something, being an event planner for a sports group or sports organization. Those are few and far between, but that you want to ask my dream job, that's what it is. I love sports. I can talk sports all day. If I was able to do something and have a second job, I'd be a radio host for sports. I just love it. And I love events. So if I could combine something with those, it would be perfect. Right now in hospitality in Orlando, there's not a lot going on. It doesn't matter how good your network is. If people aren't coming to town, they're going to hire their own people back before they look at hiring somebody new. So it's all about being patient and trying to figure out what that step is you want to take. I'm not the type of person that wants to take a job for a couple of months until my dream job comes. But hey, desperate times require desperate measures. We're all seeing what's going on. We're seeing that more and more people are still filing for unemployment. So we'll do what we have to do. And I have always been successful at what I have done. Like you said, the first year that I had bought into hospitality staff, we did $750,000. And over the next couple of years, through getting contracts and building those relationships, we were up over 8 million. I've got the HR background. I've got the training background. I'm a subject matter expert with a national food safety organization, second largest in the country, National Registry of Food Safety Professionals. So I can train. I've got the HR background with the 17 plus years in staffing. So it runs the gamut. I've got a lot of experience here, and I'm ready to share that with somebody. I want to make an organization that's already great even better with my knowledge and my experience.
Excellent. So Joe, and I will tell you in the show notes below, down there somewhere, I'll have the contact information, but why don't you tell folks how they could get in touch with you? I know you're on LinkedIn. People are going to see this video they're going to see this video on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. But how could folks get in touch with you?
My work email is jmahoney@hrtsonline.net if you need any training done. My personal email is joe-mahoney@att.net, and always available, whether it's talking, whether it's having lunch, whether it's helping somebody in the industry. Those are things that I just love doing.
That's awesome.
And I do have to do a shout out that, you told me that I helped you with a lot of things and your jobs and getting on stuff. I have to thank Michael Hanley, who a lot of people out there know. My first CFHLA meeting, like I said, if I don't know somebody, it's hard for me to strike up a conversation. Michael saw me walking around in the pre-function area looking like a deer in headlights, and he walked up to me and introduced himself to me. And Michael is a dear, dear friend and has helped me so much in expanding my network and showing me how to get it done. And Michael's a person to follow. Michael is like a brother to me. And, I have to thank him for helping me get to where I am as well.
I will second that. And Michael Hanley, if you're listening to this show, which I know you will at some point, we're going to get you on board here because I think you have a story to tell that would be awesome.
You
Joe,
need to have him on with his HR background as well before he became, you know, a financial advisor. He's got a huge HR background with hospitals.
Right. Exactly. I know that. Michael was very helpful to me in the same regards that he was helpful to you. So tell me, Joe, have I missed anything today? Have I missed anything in our conversation? You've got such a multifaceted background. I know that you would be an asset to any organization that you would join. Is there anything that I've missed today that you just wanted to get out there?
You know, I think what it is, Chuck, like I said, I want to leverage my many, many years of experience to help another company grow and potentially expand. My areas of expertise are vast. I'm a quick learner. Like I said before, I have succeeded at everything that I've done. I'm project oriented. I get work done that's assigned to me. I love to have fun at work. I know when to be serious, but you have to have fun at what it is you do, because if you don't, you're going to be miserable. And that's going to come off and show to anybody who is working with you. They're going to say, what's this guy doing? This guy's miserable. He doesn't want to be here. And you can never be that way. Even if you are that way, you always show that you're happy. You're always doing great. You're always doing excellent. You have to have a positive attitude in everything it is that you do. You know, we're the hospitality capital of the world. We're here to welcome people. And that's what I enjoy doing. I love welcoming. I want to smile as much as I can. I want to have fun and enjoy what I do. And I want to get down to work and bring this knowledge to another company.
Awesome. Joe, can you hold that mug up one more time? Let's just kind of see that. Just there you go. Folks, take a look at that. That is cool. That is the international symbol of hospitality. And here's our mugs together. Cheers, Joe.
Cheers.
And thanks for being on the show. Folks.
Chuck, thank you so much. I appreciate the time and you reaching out and asking me to be here. I'm grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Folks, if you have a message to share, if you're an HR or business leader, or if you need any HR help, you want to get in touch with us, it's gethrhelpnow.com. We can help you out with anything in regards to any of your HR needs, but we could also get you on the show because you probably have a story to tell, and we want to get it out there. Joe, thank you, and good luck with everything.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks. Appreciate it.